Hello, Zoo Med fans. We're here at AnimalCon 2023. We're working on day 2, and I'm here to introduce Dāv Kaufman.
Hi, how are you?
Dave's going to tell us a little bit about himself.
So I'm Dāv Kaufman. My main channel is Dāv Kaufman's Reptile Adventures, but I also have Dāv Kaufman's Fishing Adventures, Dāv Kaufman's Adventures, and if that's not, glutton enough for punishment, I just started Dāv Kaufman Eats the World, which is a food channel.
Wonderful. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people recognize your face around. You've been doing social media for quite some time.
Yeah, I started my channel in 2014.
So 2014. So we're talking, we're coming on a decade here soon.
Right.
So let's see if we can get a little background. Where did your love of reptiles? What was your first reptile? Where did it all start?
So I caught a garter snake when I was 9 years old and begged my parents to let me keep it.
Did they?
Yes, they did. Yes. And I could keep it in the basement, and the rule was that if it got out, that was the end of it. And of course it got out.
Keeping all together.
End of keeping all together. And they said I could only have the garter snake, and that was it. Well, that grew into anoles and salamanders and another garter snake. And
to their knowledge, or?
Probably not. But that snake did get out. It scared my mom. And that was the end of my reptile keeping, which was fine because a couple years later I was in high school and I discovered girls and music, and so reptiles took a back seat. Then after high school, on a camping trip, I caught a big old bull snake, and it just snapped me right back into my love of reptiles. And
that's amazing.
I've stuck with it ever since, yeah.
So then, that started it. What are you currently working with now?
So I work mainly with ball pythons, but I'm very morph specific. I work with clown pied morphs.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get all the other morphs into clown pieds, and I've always said that if you want to make it in the ball python world, get known for working with a specific morph. And when somebody wants a pied, for instance, they're going to say, oh, this guy is known for pieds.
Right.
This guy is known for clowns. This guy is known for the stranger gene, whatever. So that's kind of what I do. And then I also work with colubrids, and then I have pets. I have my tortoise, I have my rhino iguana. I have retics just as pets.
Any fan favorites? Anyone that's like, this is my favorite pet? Like, I love this thing.
Oh, that's like asking which one of your kids is your favorite.
I know.
I've got a big old super dwarf retic that is just a sweetheart.
Puppy dog?
She is a puppy dog, yeah. And she might be just a little bit above the rest.
No, I get it.
Yeah,
I have a favorite kid.
Yeah. I hope they're not watching.
So how did your love of reptiles morph into, because for social media, you're doing the angling and you're doing the eating now, but reptiles was first. How did the reptile love lead into a reptile, creator? How did you start creating content?
I have a film background, so I was in the independent film world for a long time. It is a very obviously difficult industry to break into, and once you've broken into it, you still have to dance for your dinner every single movie. There's a saying that you are only as good as your last movie. My first movie we shot for $75,000, and then it was released through Lionsgate and grossed $5 million. I didn't get very much of that $5 million. As a matter of fact, I got enough to maybe buy a car, and that's the reality of independent film. You make a lot of other people rich. So anyway, I made a documentary called Herpers on the entire reptile community, and that video did so well that I made Herpers 2. That video did well, so I did Herpers 3. So I made 3 movies about the reptile industry, and then I was going to make a 4th, and I had all this footage for a 4th DVD, for a 4th movie, and then all of a sudden, Blockbuster closed their doors, people stopped buying DVDs, it was all going to streaming, and I had all this footage, and I was like, well, what am I going to do with this footage? I was going to be a history professor, so I was back in college getting another degree. Once I graduated, the university asked me to come back and be faculty, and then I looked into what that entailed and ran screaming, and basically said, okay, now what do I do? I've got this very expensive diploma on the wall I'm not sure if I'm ever going to use, but I had this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And at that point, I really wasn't doing much with it, and so I put that footage for that 4th installment up on YouTube. I just kind of said, okay, I'm going to switch that over from Herpers TV, which is what it was originally called, to Dāv Kaufman's Reptile Adventures, and I'm going to go around the world, and I'm going to show people all the cool snakes where they live, and all the cool reptiles where they live in the world. And it's taken me to some pretty dangerous places in the world, but those are the kinds of places I like, and it just exploded. And that's so, awesome. Yeah.
Well, so you actually led right into what I want to go to next. Now, you've traveled the world.
Yeah.
One place. What's the one place you're like, I love this place. I could go there. I could spend
Thailand.
Thailand is on the top of the list.
Love Thailand.
What do you love about it?
It's the culture, the people, the reptiles. It's one of the most incredible places on the planet for everyone. Like if you're an eco-tourist or if you are a cultural tourist, Thailand has everything. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Now go to the other end of the spectrum. Where have you been that you're like, I don't think I'm ever going to go back
West
there
Africa.
I won't ask you why, but I'll just keep that there. Figured there had to be some place you're like, I was scared. I wasn't sure I was going to get out of there.
I'm never scared. It's just, how difficult the trip was.
That's fair.
And that was an extremely difficult trip. We were there for a month. We filmed the Ball Python movie there. We filmed a bunch of other stuff. And it was just extremely difficult. Every day was a new challenge. Yep. So glad I went. I'll never go back. Yeah.
Good advice.
Yeah.
So last thing, I know you have to move on. I appreciate you doing this.
Yeah.
Give us some advice to the future of this hobby of be it reptile keeping or future creators. What advice do you have to pass on to the next generation?
Well, there's two questions there. The future of the reptile world is, I think, extremely strong. As long as we stay vigilant and keep above the kind of BS laws that are trying to be passed, if we stay in front of that, we are going to be triumphant. We're going to last a long time. We are going to be stronger because of that, and that has everything to do with USARK, and that's why it's important to support USARK, because everything we do as creators, as reptile people, as, even the person down the street who just has a pet leopard gecko. We have that because of USARK.
Yep.
So there's my pitch for USARK, which I always try to do because it's very important. For creators, the sky is the limit at this point. YouTube is getting stronger and stronger as a platform. A lot of people think, okay, so I want to start a channel, but maybe it's too late to do that. No, it's not. I mean, we are in the heyday of YouTube, and we are in the heyday of social media at this point. And so now is the time to get on. And, the one thing that I can say to somebody who is just starting out or somebody who's been doing this for years is don't get discouraged, because it is extremely discouraging sometimes.
Oh, sure.
And a lot of people get discouraged and they quit, and those are the people that fail and disappear.
I think this event is a wonderful thing.
100%.
I've already had a few people I've talked to, in these interviews that they were inspired here. They came here and
absolutely.
got inspired.
100%.
And it's a wonderful event, and hopefully it continues and create future creators.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much,
You're
Dave.
very welcome.
Appreciate it.